Thank you for staying with us here at Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Today, our guest, Don Castella, is running for Illinois Senate 30th District. And let's hear a little bit more about your story, Don.
Where's that at, Don?
Well, the 30th District stretches from Wheeling. It has the northern 2 miles of Wheeling, the central portion of the village. It goes through Riverwoods, Lincolnshire, Buffalo Grove, Vernon Hills, Mundelein, Mettawa, a few small portions of some villages. It also includes a sizable portion of the village of Gurnee, the city of Waukegan,
wow.
the city of North Chicago.
It winds through a lot of Lake County, doesn't it?
It's principally areas that were hand-picked by the Democrats when they redrew the map to have a lot of Democrat voters.
Uh-huh.
So I have a significant election challenge on my hands, and I would enjoy nothing better than to take on that challenge.
Now, Don, who else? You're running right next to the district that Dr. A. Friedman's running in.
That's correct. He's in the 29th. I'm in the 30th.
And who's the other Senate district that's...
Lake County has several. The 31st is to the west of my district.
That touches your district,
along with
too.
the 26th.
Okay.
And now the 32nd district also covers part of Lake County.
But you go from Gurnee up in the northeast corner, sliding over, going west and south to into Cook County.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Although it's mostly, it studiously avoids heavily Republican areas, with the exception of Lincolnshire.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the areas are predominantly Democrat.
Well, they expect the Democrats expect loyalty in the destruction of the state of Illinois.
I think the district...
Do they all feel that way, or they got a possibility of listening to a sound of reason from a man like yourself? You're no fire burner that just shooting off his mouth. You've been involved in politics and trying to do things for the county of Lake for a long time. You've helped other people. You're a considerate man. Are you going to liven up those Democrats for their own preservation?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is just talk seriously to people and communicate to them the real state of the state of Illinois, not the little pipe dream that we heard from Governor Quinn last week. It's so disingenuous to say, well, we're going to rebate or to eliminate the utility tax, a tax that for the average consumer, I think would save them perhaps $25, $30 a year, a really modest amount, while at the same time they're taking $1,000 a year in additional income taxes from the average consumer.
How so?
It's like we take it out of one pocket and, we're putting it back in the other, so don't worry.
How do they take that $1,000 a year from the average consumer?
Well, the 67% income tax increase. Mm-hmm. The average family in Illinois is having to ante up another $1,000.
Well, they're smarter than we citizens, and we should give them all of our money and let them spend it wisely. Aren't they the parent to us children?
Yes.
Well,
not really. Nanny state.
Since the income tax increase, we've seen additional increases in unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
We've not seen the kind of responsible behavior that we hoped we would see. The governor and the legislature has taken that cash flow that they project from this income tax increase, and I would question those projections. And they have leveraged that with additional borrowing. So you see something that is always in common here, and that's that they're always on the revenue side of the equation. They're never talking about the spending side. Mm-hmm. And we need to talk seriously about the spending side, or we will never get this budget in balance in this state.
I've often said that you shouldn't blame the assessor for your high taxes. The assessor is in charge of the manure spreader, and all his job is to spread it evenly among the citizens. He has nothing to do with how much manure is put on the spreader wagon. That's merely done by the people who spend the money.
Yeah.
So you're quite right. that to affect your taxes, the only thing you can fairly do is get at the excess spending of these crazy people that have been running the legislature and so much of the state.
Well, you got to go back to the same notion that people understand that their family cannot spend more money than they earn for very long without going hopelessly into debt or going bankrupt. And our state is the same way.
Right.
The government is there to give us food stamps. We aren't supposed to dig ourselves out of this trouble. We are to wait for Mr. Obama to rescue us.
Yeah, well, more people are on food stamps now under this administration than ever before in our country's lifetime.
The difference between the state and the federal government, and I believe it's a fortunate difference, is that the state cannot print money. And but it will be the beneficiary of the largesse, if you will, of the federal government through its monetary policies, diluting the value of the money in the future that will allow them to pay back these enormous debts with dollars that are worth very much less than they are today.
You know what? I want to hear that analogy when we come back after the break.